Thank you for tuning in to the Generational Gauntlet Top 5 Faves. This is the podcast where we give you our top 5 on a topic with a generational twist to it. My name is Matt Lambert, and I'm the host of this podcast. Each week, I bring in a guest who is from a different generation than me to discuss or debate our top 5 on a selected topic. The holiday season is upon us, and for a lot of us, that means spending time with our family. That's what the holiday season is about for me. It's getting to have some time off work and celebrating the holidays with my two favorite people, my wife and my daughter. One of our favorite things to do as a family during the season is to watch Christmas movies. So today, I decided to bring my daughter Nora, Gen Alpha, back on to give us our top 5 Christmas movies of all time. Nora, welcome back. Are Christmas movies your favorite movies, or have I converted you to a horror movie fan just yet?
It depends on the season. Horror movies are for Halloween, and Christmas movies are for Christmas.
All right. Are there any of those you'd watch like outside of the season, or with both? It's just during that time.
Only Christmas movies outside of the season.
Okay, that's fair. All right. Well, if you haven't checked this podcast out before, this is how it works. We each have a top 5 list on this topic. We have not seen or heard each other's lists until we share them here in a few moments. I don't know really anything. I might be able to give a couple guesses on Nora's list, but I'm completely lost, and she's probably lost on mine as well. She'll give her number 5, her reasons why. I'll give my number 5, and then we'll continue until we complete our lists. So, Nora, I will kick it over to you. What is your number 5 all-time Christmas movie?
Well, before I begin, I'd like to say, Dad, you're safe because K-pop Demon Hunters is not a Christmas movie. You're welcome.
I'm excited to hear that.
My number 5 is Christmas with the Cranks. I found this movie to be very funny. It was a fantastic movie and one that made me laugh quite hard.
It's a good movie. Not on my list, but I know that's a favorite of your mom's as well. Definitely one we've watched as a family a couple of times together. My number 5 is a classic from my childhood, Jingle All the Way. If you listen to our episode on our favorite action heroes, one of mine was Arnold Schwarzenegger, so it should come as no surprise that one of his films is in my top 5. If you aren't familiar with this movie, a dad forgets to get his son the hottest toy for Christmas, and then the antics ensue as he attempts to track it down. You add in the humor of Sinbad, and this was a 1990s comedy classic. I've lost count of how many times I've watched this movie. Nora, I think you've watched this movie before. Maybe not. If not, we'll have to add it to our list this year. But for all the humor, the action, the nostalgia, I gave it my number 5 ranking. Nora, I'm going to hand it over to you for your number 4.
My number 4 would be The First Santa Claus. I watched The First Santa Claus when I was 4 or 5 years old. I found it very funny. I think that is a good family movie. I think that some of the scenes deserve an award.
I like that one. It is on my list, a little higher than number 4. My number 4 is The Grinch That Stole Christmas, the 2018 animated version. Let me say this first. I cannot stand the Jim Carrey live-action version of The Grinch. Nora, I'm curious, what are your thoughts on the live-action Grinch from back in the day?
I don't know why, but my grandmother let me watch it when I was really, really young, and I was creeped out that when he was hiding the corners of the ceiling for years, and still sometimes now, I look around the ceiling to make sure he's not there. It's just gonna happen.
I was an adult when I watched it, and he still creeped me out. He's a very creepy-looking Grinch. I'm not a fan. The 2018 animated version, though, I think we saw when Nora was maybe 4 or 5 years old, and it's not just one of my top 5 Christmas movies of all time, but it might be one of my top 5 animated movies. I absolutely love this movie. If you haven't figured it out yet, I love hip-hop. You're giving me Pharrell as the narrator, Tyler, the creator, sang the leading song on the soundtrack. You throw in some Run DMC. I loved all of it when it came to this movie. It was definitely a much-needed upgrade on the original Grinch. People agree with me because when I did some research online, I found out that it's the highest-grossing Christmas film of all time. It earned $540 million worldwide when this movie dropped. It's also the highest grossing Dr. Seuss adaptation of all time. Its music slapped, it was rolling in the cash, and it rolls right into number 4 for me. Nora, I'm going to come off the mic. I'm going to hand it over to you to tell us your number 3.
I know you're gonna be surprised. My number 3 is actually Noelle.
Okay.
I hate this movie. There was a very big reason. We watched it year round. It was the middle of the summer, and this Christmas movie will be playing. Now I realize how funny and heartfelt the movie is.
That's fair. Noel will be on my list, not at number 3, but we've got a couple that are on both of our lists here. My number 3, Nora, you've never seen it. You may not have ever heard of this movie because it's rated R, and I'm not going to let you watch a movie like that at your age, but it's Violent Night. I will not go into heavy detail on the plot because of the nature of the plot, but give me Santa Claus fighting mercenaries in this 2022 action film, and I say Merry Christmas. People will try to claim that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I've tried to argue that Iron Man 3 is one because it happens during Christmas. I know that's not true. But this movie qualifies as a Christmas movie. It happens on Christmas Eve. It literally has Santa playing an action hero. And throughout all of the over-the-top action, there's a message of family and a message of holiday cheer to it. And for those reasons, it's my number 3. Nora, I'm going to hand it over to you. What is your number 2?
My number 2 would be Falling for Christmas. This Hallmark movie actually surprised me. You always know that somebody's going to fall in love. Though I guessed who the man of the girl's dream was within 5 minutes of the movie, I found the movie hysterical.
This was not anywhere on my bingo card for you to have in your top 5 movies. I don't even know what this movie is.
You
Who,
don't?
who's in the movie?
I don't really know actors' names, but it's.
Is it the one where they're skiing?
Yes.
Okay, so Lindsay Lohan, those people. All right, I have seen this. I would say it might not even make my top 20, but your facial expressions are killing me. Yeah, okay. I respect where you put your movie at. I'm going to go a little bit more dated for my number 2, and it's the original Santa Claus. I think that was your number 4. It's my number 2. The 1994 The Santa Claus with Tim Allen is a Christmas staple. I watched it as a kid. I've watched it with my wife and with my daughter numerous times. It made a lot of money, upwards of $190 million. We're talking about back in the 90s making that much cash. I love the take on Santa it has. It tells us about how Santa came about, how he's still rolling. It's one of those films that has humor that still stands up over time. You can watch it and you're not cringing on the types of humor it has. It has Tim Allen, who's obviously one of the leading men in comedy movies, maybe ever. It inspired an entire movie franchise. There's 2 other movies. I'm not a fan of the third one, but hey, it gave us unique takes on Santa, the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy. There's this show, The Santa Clauses, that we've had on Disney+. This is a movie that my family will probably watch every holiday season, so it has to be number 2 on my list. Nora, do you have any concerns, thoughts on that one? I see you shaking your head.
It's kind of funny because my number 1 is kind of related to that.
That's fair. All right. Without further ado, let's hear your number 1 then.
My number 1 would be Santa Claus 2.
All right. Why is that your number 1?
I love this movie because I remember loving it since I was 4 years old. For Christmas Eve last year, me and my family binge watched all of the Santa Clauses, and this was my favorite of them all.
I like it. This one, if we were doing a top 10 list, that would be in my top 10. It's probably like a fringe number 6, number 7 for me. I just like the original a little bit better than me, but definitely can see where you've put that one on your list. My number 1 was, I think, your number 3, and my number 1 is Noelle. The 2019 Noelle is my number 1 Christmas movie. Call it recency bias. Call it the fact that I'm a huge Anna Kendrick fan. But their take on Christmas, Santa, and the role of Noelle took it over the top for me. I'm not going to give any spoilers here if you haven't seen it. It gives me vibes like Will Ferrell's Elf, where it's got somebody from the North Pole who doesn't understand how things work, but without all the cringy scenes that Elf featured. I go back and watch Elf now and I don't feel like comfortable with it. It just feels weird. Noelle holds up. It's one of those films you can watch with the family without any interesting conversations afterwards. As a girl dad, it's about female empowerment, which I'm all here for. It's funny, it's relevant. We've probably watched it 20 times since 2019. You said earlier, Nora, that we watched it in the summer. We were watching it all the time. And I have a feeling we'll watch it again this holiday season. My wife's a huge fan of this movie, so for me, it takes the number one spot. Nora, you're making a lot of faces over there. I can see you on the screen. What's your problems with this being number one?
I, it's it's just I kind of got sick of it because we watched it like every single month.
That's fair. I think we watched it a lot though because it holds up. It's a good movie. It's got a good story, good acting, and again, I know there's some recency bias. It's a newer movie, but it has a fresh perspective for me on Santa Claus and just the whole story. I really enjoyed it. Are there any of these films you're hoping we watch this holiday season as we approach Christmas?
Probably the Santa Clauses.
Okay. What about
And
the animated Grinch? Would that be in your list
oh,
this
I love
season?
that one.
It's a good one. I'm surprised that one wasn't on your list. I feel like you might have overlooked that one a little bit.
I forgot it existed, to be honest.
That's because you were still creeped out about the live action Grinch of him hiding in the corners of your room.
I was terrified for probably 5 years.
Well, if your grandmother's listening, thank you for causing Nora nightmares during the holiday season because of the 2004, I think that's the year, the 2004 Grinch. Hey, we want to thank you all for tuning into this holiday episode. We wish you and your families a great holiday season. If you haven't done so yet, subscribe, leave us a 5-star review, and let someone know to check this thing out. Help us sway the algorithm in our favor. I want this podcast to cover topics that interest you. If you have a top 5 list that you'd like us to rank, I take suggestions at generationalfave5@gmail.com. That's generational, FAVE, the number 5, at gmail.com. All right, today I am peeling back the curtain a bit on the podcast. With many of these episodes, we record them sometimes weeks in advance. And the episode you just heard was recorded, I think, back in November. But we've had something pop up and someone we wanted to give a shout out to. So we're adding this to the back end of our episode today. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Nora.
Shout out to Michelle from Deskin's Candies in West Virginia for delicious candy. And don't worry, I didn't share any with my dad, but I still made him listen to lots of K-pop.
I can attest, I have listened to more K-pop than I could ever fathom. But the candy looked delicious. I will say, if you are looking for a gift you can send to somebody at this time of year, there are Deskin's Candies location throughout the United States. It appears there are several in West Virginia specifically. So if you're looking for a gift for somebody near or far, that's definitely a place to check out with Deskin's Candies. Hope everybody has a great holiday season. Thank you for tuning in.